Free Code Camp, Codecademy, Udemy will keep you fucking broke. If you want to become a software developer, you probably know about these resources, and the likelihood of you going through these resources right now is extremely high. And in fact, 90% of the people that I work with in my coaching program are coming from these specific resources. And the reason why these resources will keep you broke is because they are extremely random. That's the first thing, they're extremely random. You don't even know like if the thing that you are doing right now is the thing that you should be doing, right? And they are all completely different. For example, Free Code Camp teaches you some basics about, HTML and CSS. Then you have Codecademy, which teaches you some basics about HTML and CSS. All good there. At the end of that process, you'll have like a mediocre website, like the tribute page and all that bullshit that nobody wants to see, nobody likes, nobody's really impressed by that. And then, for example, Codecademy is gonna teach you how to use Git straight away. How can you teach a beginner Git from like day 3? That's impossible for me, that's outrageous. I teach Git to people after like 6 months of actually writing code daily until they are so sick and tired of using platforms like CodePen or Code Sandbox, and they will actually need it. Another reason why these platforms will keep you fucking broke forever is because you have no idea if you're actually that good. How is that? Well, you're writing some code, let's say on Codecademy, you write div, blah, 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 function, blah, blah, you put all your code in there, and then some automatic robot is going to check your code. No matter if that code is absolutely trash, absolutely terrible, that dry, cold robot is gonna say, okay, beep bop, beep bop. It doesn't work like that. This is not a science, this is an art, and the robot absolutely cannot tell you if what you've done there is absolutely correct. I was working with so many people and they were showing me, like their Free Code Camp, functions and whatnot, and I was seeing mistake there, mistake there, mistake there, mistake there. This is weird, why did you do that? And the Free Code Camp, like the freaking checker was saying everything is good. And I have nothing against them, right? They are doing their business, they are doing, their purpose, to help people out, but it's not the best way to learn code. Then you have Udemy. Udemy is literally Netflix for developers. You cannot learn code from Udemy. It's impossible. It's impossible. I know that because I spent probably 6 to 7 months copying code. And the only thing that I was learning from those platforms was how to transcribe things, right? That's what I've learned. I didn't learn how to think. The only moment when I actually learned how to think was when I decided to sit down and start thinking about the project that I want to build. I was thinking about the project. I spent, days thinking about the project, and then I was trying to find the problems that I would have, and then I would solve the problems that I would have. That's the moment when I actually started to make progress. That was the moment when I said, actually I can do this. I'm not a zombie that just copies code. By the way, my name is Christian and I used to be a barista. Okay, I used to be a barista. I was making coffees, and now I'm helping people become programmers, right? So you can be suspicious about what I'm saying, okay? Because I'm selling this stuff. I'm selling help to people that want to become programmers. And then you should be asking yourself, am I in this situation right now where I'm just copying code without even thinking about, am I actually understanding this? Or I'm just transcribing this stuff? Can I actually do this from scratch without looking at what the instructor did? Can I solve this problem in a different way than the instructor did? If your answer is no, then you just wasted your time. Yeah, you got more familiar with whatever the instructor did, and I'm not gonna deny that. But in terms of your ability of problem solving and thinking, you haven't made that much progress. In fact, you probably regressed, because instead of spending time evolving your brain into like solving problems, creating that problem solving, mindset, you developed a binge watching mindset. That's all you developed. And it's only gonna get worse from here. It's not gonna get better. You're not gonna improve if you keep watching tutorials. It's like trying to fight McGregor, and the only way for you to prepare is to watch YouTube videos and to do shadow boxing. If you just do that, when McGregor is gonna land a punch on your face, you'll be absolutely stunned. But if you go in and then you practice with a coach, and if you hit the bag and then someone hits you, you learn how to deal with the the impact, with the pain, and you'll be able to like teach yourself to stay in there in the pocket while you're feeling all this when you start to like have these ideas of quitting and whatnot. That's how you learn a skill, by practice. That's how we've learned how to walk. That's how we've learned how to ride a bike, how to swim, by practicing, not by mindlessly watching like hours and hours of content. These people just want to make money off of you. 10 bucks there, 15 bucks there, 50 bucks there. It's like a machine that gets you in and gets you out, gets you in, gets you out. And you have nothing to show after months. And again, I'm selling help with this stuff. I help people become programmers. But it's the same thing I see every single day. All the students that I have are either beginners that tried free code camp, Codecademy and Udemy, and they all say the same thing, the same stuff that I'm saying right now. This is kind of like a wake-up call for you. Dude, start working. And sometimes I have people that come to talk to me to become part of my mentorship, and ask them, hey, what did you like about my YouTube channel? Well, you said this thing and it really clicked for me, And they say something like, you said about building this project. Then I ask them, did you build any projects? No. Why not? And the reason why people don't build projects is because they're uncertain. Am I good enough to build a project? Do I have enough skills to build a project? And then what project to build? These three things are the things that I actually fix in my mentorship program. Because what I realized is that there are a few stages, of learning programming. The first one is like getting the dictionary, which takes you like a month. The dictionary, the ABCs of programming, the functions, the loops, data structures, all that stuff. If you manage to put the theory into practice, if you manage to understand like why you need an array, because most courses don't teach you why you would need an array in the first place. For example, you would use an array to show the comments here underneath this YouTube video, or the suggested videos on the right, or the Twitter feed, or the comments on an Instagram post. That's an array, simple. You take that theory. If you manage to, like if any of these courses, probably not, they won't teach you how to take that theory, you put it into practice, and that should take you like a month, maximum 2 months to actually understand, right? But then what do you do with that? What do you do with that? That's the big problem. And what I realized is that people actually really need a roadmap, and they need to be like, okay, I'm sure that if I do this, this guy told me, he reassured me that if I do this, I'll do it. And that's how I managed to like get people to actually start coding instead of just literally like masturbating over, these platforms and whatnot. And that's what anyone that's gonna teach you programming should do, should give you like reassurance and should give you some sort of like fail-safe mechanism. For example, if you get stuck with something whenever you're watching these Udemy courses or free code camp or Codecademy, you go into a Facebook group where everyone is a noob and then everyone's gonna give you some sort of advice, and then you end up even more confused. You need one source that's gonna tell you if you are doing something right or wrong, or to help you whenever you get stuck. You wanna rely on the same source over and over and over and over again. Obviously you double check with other people, but 80% of your information should come from the same person, and you should be getting some dedicated time, to see like exactly how to overcome your specific issues. Because everyone is different. You are different than me, I am different than that guy, my girlfriend is different than this person. Everyone is learning in a different way, and they are doing things in a slightly different way. And then you need specific, customized feedback for your specific problem and situation. And that's why none of these, cold robotic platforms will offer to you. It's impossible, it doesn't make sense. They are too cheap, they're free, and everyone is using them, and everyone gets the same results. Almost none. That's my opinion. Stop using these platforms, bro. Stop using these platforms. Start building projects. If you don't know what projects to build, and if you need help and support and a roadmap and all this stuff, you need help with interviews, you need to know how to set up interviews, you need to know, there's so much. I would need like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours walking you through like everything that you have to do. It's so much, sometimes I get overwhelmed, to be honest. But if you want all this type of support and help for the next 6, 9, 12 months, and you want to make a quick transition into tech without pain or removing as much pain as possible, check if I have any more free spaces for this month for coaching. They're going quite fast, but I offer like a 6 months money back guarantee. So if I tell you what to do, you don't get any results, I'll give you all your money back and you can go back to free code camp. No problem whatsoever. But at least you have to try for yourself and see if it's actually worthwhile. Until next time, yours truly, Christian.